Hi guys, this is my second video about this stuttering, and here I want to discuss that everything that you have known about this stuttering is not truth, because nobody really knows what it is, and neither medicine nor science don't know what stuttering is, how it works, and why do we do we do we and why do we stutter? Nobody knows. Although there are many theories about that. For example, one theory says that it's because of some sort of desynchronization between your right and left parts of your brain. The other theory says your thought is very fast while your speech apparatus is not so fast. So like you think very fast and you try to speak fast, but you fail and you have this stuttering. Well, that's also not so. And the third thing, for example, some scientists say that it's because of a certain baroque area in your brain, that it works in a different way, so finally you have this stuttering. But you know, all those theories are lies. You should know just one thing about the stuttering. Nobody has stuttering when he is alone in the room. So if you have the stuttering, just try to read or try to speak to yourself when nobody else in the room. Just try to speak or read to yourself, and you will realize, you will see that your speech becomes fluent. You know, like your stuttering has that your stuttering has disappeared, and you can and you have no any and you have no any difficulty to pronounce even the most difficult sounds like k, p, b, t, and so on. So the real issue is what happens within your head when you are not alone. What happens within your head when someone enters the room, and I also want to mention that when you make the video recording or when you record your voice, it's almost the same as being with someone. So what happens within your mind when you are in such situations, you know? So the stuttering is a purely psychological thing. It's not something physical. And it's also about your nervous system. For example, if you have the bad day and you just stutter, then the more you stutter, the more you begin to stutter, right? Like your nervous system becomes overloaded, and finally you just cannot say a word. That's it. So when you try to treat your stuttering, you should first of all treat your head. You should first of all treat your social reactions, and go deep inside yourself to find out what happens when you are not alone. How do you treat people? What do you think when someone is watching you? What do you expect from the audience? What do you think when there is someone near you? So you should go deep there, and you will find out that sometimes like the most common thing is that you afraid that you will fail to say something, and the audience will think, oh my god, what's wrong with him? Why he doesn't say like we say, and you try to say very nicely so that they wouldn't think that you have the stuttering, and you overload yourself. You become too serious with the situation. What they will think, what they will think. They will think that I'm a fool or disabled or something like that, but I'm not. So you become overloaded with that, and you begin to stutter. That's one thing. And there are so many things which are happening in your mind when you are in social situation. Many things, Like I know one guy, and he said that he has a stuttering, and he says that it's very difficult for him to speak with his boss, and he explains that when he speaks with his boss, he has the same feeling, same emotions which he has while speaking with his father, So when he speaks with boss, it's same for him as speaking with his father, and his stuttering becomes very severe at those moments. Why is it so, And he feels himself like a child, like he's 35 years old, But when he speaks with the boss, he goes into that state of mind, like he's the child, like he's the child speaking with his father, and he begins to stutter. So what sort of therapy would help him? Would some speech therapy, like, will that really help him? Would maybe the breathing exercises help him? Of course no, because that's just in his head. That's just about his mind. It's about his inner conflicts with his father, which he transmits to in other relationships, Like, you know, hey man, he's not your father who beat you when you were the baby, you know, it's your boss, and you are not a child, you are 35, so what's wrong with you? Well, that's what's wrong with him, you know. And every stuttering person, he will find so many things of that sort if he be uh, uh, if he be truthful with himself, you know, if he is not afraid to dig inside himself. So that's enough for now, and in the third video, I will make it this week, I think. In the third video, I will discuss the ways how to release your blocks, how to help yourself with stuttering, like, you know, some tricks which will help you and which help me. But for now it's okay. For now it's enough. Thank you. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to updates. See you soon. Bye.